Welcome. My name is Tina. I'm a mother of 3 boys. I used to be Anderson's elementary school PTA president for 4 years. What I saw was a lot of horrible things that these teachers were doing behind parents' back. I knew I had to start trying to help out my city better for my children. My children's father was born and raised in Westminster. I myself is from Long Beach, and my dad made sure I was proud to wherever I came from above and from the bottom and above. Someone's always watching. Who else is going to do it? I used my gift as being a medium and a psychic, but I never told anyone because I had a hidden agenda myself, one that I kept close to my heart, and one that no one can take away from me. My 4 offsprings were a gift to me from my ancestors. Shame on you. Shame on the city of Westminster for using me and abusing me for not only as a mother, but as a child. This is one job you will not take away from me. Mark my words, you will pay big in this life and in the next life. Let's talk about mental health. I'm free after family court because my babies were kidnapped. I haven't seen my own children, my babies, my kids, my offsprings. In 2 years. 2 years I have not seen them. This is one mama bear, you're not going to stop. I'm not going to stop. To everyone in the Westminster, the city of Westminster, the whole world, I'm going to show everybody what you have done to me. Project Rose, children's lives matter. These teachers and principals all need to look up, to be locked up with the city leaders. Human sex trafficking is real and not a joke. These children need healing and they need to be heard. What about them? I'm not American, I'm indigenous. I'm free, I'm me. My motto is, you lie once, you will lie again. What else is there? That lie is going to hold you back. Abraham Lincoln, the 16th president. My son's favorite president. The fact that my son didn't want to lie and set a good example for what he wanted for himself. I'm showing my firstborn how the schools have affected not only me, but my ancestors, my whole family. I do not believe in God, and I do not believe Jesus was ever my king. You cannot force me to believe in something that I know about. I want my children back, and I have nothing else to give you guys. I'm done. I brought my dad with me today to help me and support me, because I have nothing. I have nothing. He left me with nothing. I'm homeless, and I'd rather stay homeless. I'm not proud of the United States at all. I'm not, and this is for my kids. I'm not. Shame on you. These children need help and support.
The next speaker is
Good evening, everyone. Before I start my speech, I'd like to congratulate to the recipient, the STEM students. You are our future. You make us proud. And I want to say good luck to all of them. And please, if any of them listening, please disregard whatever I'm going to say after this to your mayor. I don't mean to rain on your parade or belittle your achievement or this event that happened in the beginning. This is my oral communication session, and it only concerns our adults versus the public servants here. Again, congratulations. All right, good stuff, you guys. I don't know how many more stunts you guys can pull to PR yourself. Trying to get out of the record that we were preparing, like trying to change the name to a Vietnamese hero, and upset a lot of residents here. I was entrusted by a group of Westminster residents to file a petition for circulation of a recall against you, Councilman Nam Quan. I was paid to serve you tonight as well. I was planning to do it and follow people with the city clerk tonight, but since tonight was a special night, I don't want to ruin it for others. So I guess we can put up with you for a few more weeks. So I guess tonight maybe let this be another warning, request from us to you to resign for the sake of our city. And also, I'd like to ask the attorney law firm, our city's law firm, to request Mr. Namquan to resign. As you, Mr. Mayor, and the rest of the council, even if you can relay my message to Council Member Kim Rico, because what happened is he's a libel to our city. You continue to maintain a YouTube channel to defame and slander order. Your partner has been sued and will continue to be sued by many others. You are also being sued, and there will be many more to sue you, and they will sue the city as the mayor as well. So for the sake of the city, you have to resign because you are a huge liability to our city. And Mr. Mayor, what happened to your head? I thought you claimed the Tesla malfunction. There was no injury, right? What happened to your head? Bruce didn't last for 2 months. Thank you very much.
Lee with Justified.
Good evening, everyone. Chúng tôi muốn nói với ông luật sư và bà quản trị viên của thành phố là trước đây ông Manfro đã từ chức vì ông ấy biết rằng băng đảng Bonsa đã và đang tàn phá thành phố này với những việc làm dơ bẩn mờ ám. Ông ta từ chức vì không muốn bị liên lụy tới mình khi những chuyện phạm pháp này bị đưa ra ánh sáng. Cái chức quản trị viên thành phố rất quan trọng, vì vậy trước đây thành phố đã rất quan tâm và cẩn trọng khi thuê mướn người vào chức vụ này. Tại sao họ lại đưa bà Christine Corden vào chức vụ này quá dễ dàng và nhanh chóng như vậy? Mới hôm nào mà còn ngồi cái bàn kia để đặt tên những người muốn lên phát biểu. Mọi người rất bất ngờ khi thấy bà ngồi vào chức vụ này. Việc này nói lên điều gì? Tụi băng đảng Bonsa đã chọn cái đồng bào vào những chức vụ này rồi. Chờ khi nào củng cố quyền lực xong, họ sẽ mời quý vị đi chỗ khác chơi để đồng chí của họ vào ngồi những cái ghế này. Vì vậy đừng nên ngạc nhiên khi chuyện này xảy ra.
We'd like to say something to the city attorney and city manager. Mr. Manfro, the former city manager, had resigned when he found out that the Bolsa Mafia gang had been destroying the city with all the dirty and shady corruption. He quit his job because he didn't want to get involved in illegal activities if they were exposed to the public. City manager is an important position. Therefore, the city needs to consider very carefully and very selectively when looking for a person to fill in. Why did they choose Ms. Cordon for this seat so easily and quickly? Not long ago, she was still sitting at the table, checking the name of the speakers. Everyone was surprised to see her getting this position. What does it mean? The Bolsa gang already had in mind that their comrades were to fill in these seats. Wait until their power is well established, and you two will be replaced by their comrades. As a matter of fact, don't be surprised when that happens.
Chúng tôi nghe nhiều người ở thủ đô tị nạn bàn tán về việc mới đây ông thị trưởng Nguyễn Mạnh Chí lao chiếc xe Tesla vào một cơ sở thương mại trên đường Bonsa, khiến cho tiệm này phải đóng cửa để sửa chữa. Dư luận cho rằng lúc đó ông đang say rượu nên không kiểm soát được chiếc xe, vì vậy mới gây ra tai nạn. Nhưng cũng có nguồn tin nói rằng ông đổ thừa cho cái thắng xe bị trục trặc. Người ta còn nói rằng mới đây ông nên dự tiệc trên San Jose, mà buổi tiệc này có sự bảo trợ của công ty hàng không và hãng xe điện VinFast của Việt Cộng. Ông muốn chứng tỏ cho mọi người thấy rằng Tesla không đáng tin cậy, nên hãy mua xe VinFast của Việt Cộng. Xin ông cho biết điều này có đúng không? Nếu có ông có kiện hãng Tesla ra tòa vì đã làm mất mặt ông không? Ông có lời khuyên nào cho những người trẻ tuổi khi ở vào tù của ông và là thị trưởng của một thành phố mà còn vi phạm tội lái xe dưới ảnh hưởng của bia rượu và ma túy không?
Recently, the Vietnamese community has been talking about Mr. Charlie Nguyen, who just slammed his Tesla into a shop on Bolts Avenue. The shop has been closed for fixing the damage. It's said that the mayor was drunk, and that's why he could not control the vehicle, which led to the accident. However, there's a rumor that he blamed it on the brakes, which didn't function properly. Also, people are talking about the grand party that some of you guys attended in San Jose a few months ago. The party, which Vietnam Airlines and VinFast electric vehicle companies were among the sponsors. Is it true that you, Mr. Mayor, want to prove that Tesla is not reliable so people should buy VinFast? Are you going to sue Tesla because its malfunction made you lose face? Do you have any advice for the younger generation when someone your age, and also the member of the city, got a DUI violation?
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Our next speaker is Jessica, followed by Terry Greens. Sorry. I broke the phone. That was a weird way to start my discussion. All right, good evening. I'm here tonight to request that you vote no on item 6.3 so that the city can keep the ordinance that governs how elected officials interact with city employees. Elected officials should refrain from interfering in the day-to-day business of city employees for two main reasons: to promote productivity and to ensure impartial governance. When politicians start meddling in the routine details of city business, it can disrupt workflows, cause confusion, and even undermine the effectiveness of those who know their job best. By allowing professionals to carry out their designated roles without undue political interference, you create an environment where expertise, experience, and merit guide the decision-making process. Your constituents want to know what their leaders are doing and how they're interacting with employees. By keeping these guidelines in place, we can make sure that there's no inappropriate pressure going on behind closed doors. We want everyone to have an equal chance, regardless of who they know or how much influence they wield. This ordinance is a safeguard to guarantee that the employees of this city can do their job without undue interference. It's not about stifling you, it's about setting reasonable boundaries and making sure that the city is protected from litigation related to political favoritism. This ordinance ultimately benefits the community at large, so please vote no on item 6.3 and protect the employees and the city of Westminster. Thank you. Our next speaker is Terry with Judge Boyd on deck.
Hello, Amy. I've never seen a public official treat constituents so rudely as you did at your event on Friday. You argued with people who were just asking you questions and explaining their concerns to you. The campaign rhetoric speech your handler made was laughable and so inappropriate for the setting. Shame on you, Amy. The city paid advanced applied engineer $1,800 towards the Adrian Garden Mall parking structure, item 3.2. The applicant must fully reimburse the city for this. Item 5.2, the final motion made on May 24th was to review the other billboard proposals in open, not closed session. The city attorney ignored that formal direction and went behind closed doors under the guise of property negotiations where only lease and price and terms can be discussed. This violates the Brown Act. All this because some council members don't understand or trust the RFP process or our staff, accusing them of illegally or unethically choosing branded cities for this contract. Stop wasting city resources and let staff do their jobs. Item 5.6, the city must not allow City of Westminster on the sign design. Only official street signs should have that designation. Signs that appear to be official in a foreign language, no. A goat is English, high by Trump is not. Item 7.1, if the school board proposes an incompatible office conflict might exist for Conway to vote on it as traffic commissioner because he's also on the school board. If Mr. Johnson requested it, independent of the board, using his president title might be problematic. Hey, speaking of traffic commissioners, where's Amy's appointing Mr. Castillo? Item Item 6.4, the renaming must not start at Bolsa Chica Road, which is nowhere near Little Saigon, a designated cultural business district on Bolsa Avenue between Magnolia and Bouchard. The entire city is not Little Saigon, nor will it ever be. The proposal seeks to erase the historical significance of our city dating back to 1870, 105 years before the fall of Saigon. The 405 freeway doesn't even pass through Little Saigon, it runs further south. The only portion, if any, that should be renamed, or better yet, have just directional exit signs like with the 22, are exits 15 and 16. Exit 18 is Bolsa Avenue, but it's too far west of Little Saigon. Council do not support ACR 71 as written. Item 6.3. Our newly elected lawmakers are lawbreakers who want to erase the law enacted to protect our city staff from improper influence, harassment, or interruption from elected officials. Them. A law that deters corruption and preserves integrity of the organization. The city attorney failed to provide copies of the law that they want to repeal, I gave you, in the staff report until late yesterday, only after I sent an email on Monday. The report states those rules already exist in state law. No, they do not. Remember Chief Baker's $500,000 settlement due to the harassment of staff by elected officials? Margie Rice, at her very worst, was a saint compared to Amy, and I have voluminous public records to prove it. These two ran as law and order candidates, but violate and repeal laws instead. I'm pleading with you, Mayor Wynn, wherever you are. Stand with your employees and vote no on this item. If you vote yes, major news organizations and employee unions across the state will be notified and there will be consequences. You can bang on that. And Vice Mayor, quit leaving during public comments for 20 minutes.
Our next speaker is Judge Floyd with Roger.
Good evening. My name is Jody Boyd, and it is truly a pleasure to be here to speak with you this evening. I wish the mayor was here, because I'd like to compliment him on his ties this year. Anyway, what brought me out this evening is the city's horrible fiscal situation. We might as well say it and accept it. We're broke. We have been broke. We cannot pass another budget that does not balance. We have to cut the money from this budget and pass a balanced budget. We can't continue to spend money that exceeds what we bring in revenue. It's not sustainable. This is going to be the legacy of all of you. The Honorable Mayor, Mayor Wen, and each one of our city council members. This is your legacy. It's not the legacy of the people that were here before you. It's not the legacy of past mayors or city council members or inflation or even COVID. This will be your legacy. The city of Westminster will be broke and in bankruptcy before the 2028 Olympics even get here, unless you act and do something. And it's going to take big, bold, radical ideas. It's time to bring back the agenda item from last year that it was agreed to table it until after the November 2022 election and the new mayor and city council was on board. And that is the proposal from the Shrine Group that could immediately bring at least $2 million in annual, to start, tax revenue to this city that stays local. It's our money. You can put it in the general fund, you can allocate it however you want. There are companies, big companies, lined up wanting to bring business and jobs and are desperately needed income. We have to look at and bring back on the agenda, we have to look at cannabis dispensaries. One of our neighbors, Santa Ana, has brought in millions upon millions of dollars. Here's something we need to think about. They are now at the maximum of the 30 licenses for cannabis dispensaries. it.
Thank you. Our next speaker is Roger with Tony Bree on back.
Good evening, Roger Mindrum, resident of Westminster for close to 28 years now. I have to say that I haven't been here for a little while because of the, let's just say in the last 28 years, this makeup of council members, especially you three, you are, has made this room so toxic, so uncomfortable, and so mentally unhealthy. I had to really just take a mental break to get away from this. And putting the 6.3 on the agenda and repealing this ordinance, that the entire design of that ordinance was to save the city from lawsuits, because it actually happened. The reasoning that is in the staff report, they expressed those rules, meaning Namquan and Amy, they expressed those rules already exist under state law, which require council members to respect the council/manager form of government, and the language in the ordinance is therefore unnecessary and unduly burdensome. They feel that the ordinance is overbroad, unnecessarily seeks to micromanage the council, reduces opportunities for collegial informational meetings with department heads, and that it generally encourages a more divisive relationship between the city council and staff. That is the biggest bunch of malarkey I've ever heard in my life. This ordinance that stands currently is akin in spirit to the United States Constitution Bill of Rights. It limits the government. Some people wrongly think that the U.S. Constitution gives powers to the government. No, it limits the government. Shall not, shall not, shall not, shall not is in every single one of the 10 Bill of Rights. Also on the agenda, pretty full agenda, I want to remind you that it is not your job, not your responsibility to negotiate or renegotiate these awards of contracts like you have attempted to do in the past. If you see problems, okay, question problems, but you should not be skipping over our management where they've already done all the work. They're the professionals, not you. It's their careers. They're the professionals. We pay them good money to do that job. Back to 6.3, if you took a poll of every employee in the city, department heads and staff members, police department, everybody, I can pretty much guarantee you that they would be against what you're about to do on 6.3 tonight. And I really wish there was, and I don't know, by the end of the speakers, I'm really surprised that more department heads and employees didn't come up here and speak out on this.
Our next speaker is Tony Bowie with Gigi. Tony?